Everyone, my name is Neha. I am a student of BSc Chemistry Honours 4th semester and I am here for making a video for visually impaired students on the topic acids and bases. So let's get started. Arrhenius concepts of acids and bases. Arrhenius, a Swedish chemist, was the first to define acids and bases in aqueous solutions. According to Arrhenius, an acid is defined as a substance in which contains hydrogen and which, when dissolved in water, gives hydrogen ions, H positive ions. Accordingly, all mineral acids like HCl, HNO3 and H2SO4 containing hydrogen, when dissolved in water, dissociate completely into hydrogen ions, H positive, as HCl dissociate in water to give H positive ions plus chlorine, Cl negative ions. HNO3 gives out H plus NO3 negative ions. H2SO4 gives 2H positive plus 1 SO4 2 negative ion. Arrhenius named these acids which dissociate completely in water as strong acids. There are other acids like acetic acid CH3COOH, carbonic acid H2CO3 and phosphoric acid H3PO4, which when dissolved in water do not dissociate completely into ions. As a result, an equilibrium is set up between the ions and the undissociated acid molecule as shown below. Arrhenius named these acids as weak acids. According to Arrhenius, a base is a substance which contains hydroxyl group and which when dissolved in water gives hydroxyl ions. Thus substances like NaOH and KOH, which when dissolved in water dissociate completely to give hydroxyl ions, OH negative, as NaOH gives Na positive and OH negative. KOH gives K plus and OH negative ions. Arrhenius named these bases which dissociate completely in water as strong bases. There are substances which do not completely dissociate into hydroxide ions. Arrhenius named these substances as weak bases. For example, substances like ammonium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, aluminium hydroxide do not dissociate completely to give OH negative ions and can be written as hydrogen ions H positive obtained from the acids and hydroxyl ions OH negative obtained from the bases combines together to form unionized water. Arrhenius described this combination of H plus and OH negative ions as neutralization reaction. Arrhenius concept is very simple to apply and explains a number of phenomena like neutralization, hydrolysis of salts, strength of acids and bases. However, there are certain limitations which are described below. Arrhenius concept of acids and bases is applicable only in aqueous solutions. This concept fails to explain the acid or base behavior of substances in non-aqueous mediums such as liquid ammonia, liquid sulfur dioxide, alcohol, etc. Arrhenius concept fails to explain the acidic character of substances like CO2, SO2 and SO3, etc. and basic character of substances like ammonia, sodium carbonate, quicklime, etc. Arrhenius concept also fails to explain the reaction between an acid and a base in the absence of water. Although Arrhenius concept of acid and base suffers from a number of limitations, yet the concept is very useful and informative for an elementary approach. Bronsted-Lowry concept. Arrhenius concept of acids and bases were further improved by Bronsted and Lowry. Both Bronsted, a Danish chemist, and Lowry, an English chemist, in 1923 incidentally introduced the small definition for acids and bases. According to Bronsted-Lowry concept, an acid is a substance which can donate a proton H positive, whereas a base is a substance which can accept a proton H positive. In other words, an acid is a proton donor, whereas a base is a proton acceptor. As a result, Lowry-Bronsted concept is sometimes called the proton donor acceptor concept. It can be represented as, according to Bronsted-Lowry, a neutralization reaction involves the release of the proton by an acid and the acceptance of that proton by a base. For example, the reaction between HCl and NH3 to form the salt ammonium chloride can be represented as, the curved arrow shows how electrons must rearrange to result in the transfer of hydrogen atom from the acid to a base. The unshared pair of electrons on the nitrogen of ammonia is attracted by the partial positive charge on the hydrogen in the polar hydrogen chloride molecule. A comparison of the structures of the reactants and products shows that the hydrogen atom which was bonded to chlorine in the reactants is bonded to nitrogen in the product. Thus, a proton has been transferred to chlorine to nitrogen. To act as a Bronsted-Lowry base, a species must have at least one unshared pair of valence electrons so that it can form a covalent bond to the proton. To act as a Bronsted-Lowry acid, a species must contain at least one hydrogen atom that is attached to an atom that is more electronegative than hydrogen. In this case, HCl loses a proton and is an acid. Ammonia accepts a proton from HCl and is a base. Some other examples of acid-base reactions according to Lowry-Bronsted concept are: it is important to note in the above examples that water acts as a base with respect to hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. Interestingly, water acts as an acid with respect to ammonia. Such a substance which acts both as an acid, proton donor, as well as a base, proton acceptor, is called amphoteric or amphiprotic substance. Similarly, bicarbonate ion HCO3 negative behaves as an acid and a base. Other examples of amphoteric substance is hydrogen sulfate ion HSO4 negative, conjugate acid base pairs. Let us reinvestigate a reaction between an acid and a base. HCl being an acid donates a proton and form Cl negative ion, whereas ammonia being a base accepts a proton and form ammonium ion NH4 positive. Now the chloride ion Cl negative has a tendency to accept the proton, whereas ammonium ion NH4 positive has a tendency to donate a proton. In other words, an acid donates a proton and becomes a base accepts a proton and becomes an acid. Thus, a base formed from an acid is regarded as the conjugate base of the acid. Similarly, the acid formed from a base is called the conjugate acid of the base. In the example above between HCl and ammonia, Cl negative is the conjugate base of HCl and NH4 positive is the conjugate acid of the base NH3. Acids and bases that are related by the loss or gain of H plus ion are called conjugate acid base pairs. Thus, Cl negative and HCl, NH4 positive and NH3 are conjugate acid base pairs. We can represent the acid base pair as acid gives conjugate base plus H plus ion, whereas base accepts the H plus ion to give conjugate acid. It clearly indicates that any acid-base reaction would involve two acids and two bases. These acids and bases are called conjugate pairs. For example, acid 1 plus base 2 gives acid 2 plus base 1. For example, HCl being an acid reacts with water. Here water will act as base. This reaction gives us H3O positive, a conjugate acid, and Cl negative, a conjugate base. In the above example, HCl is an acid since it donates a proton and Cl negative is its conjugate base. Water accepts the proton and hence is a base. Thus, H3O positive ion is the conjugate acid. A strong acid has a weak conjugate base and vice versa. Some other examples of conjugate acid base are cited below. It is further important to note the Bronsted-Lowry concept is not restricted to only neutral molecules. The concept is equally applicable to ions as well. A careful inspection of the above discussion reveals that a substance is capable of showing acidic character only if the other substance is capable of accepting the proton, that is a base. For example, HCl is an acid in aqueous medium because water can accept the proton from HCl. However, HCl is not an acid in benzene because benzene does not accept H positive ion from HCl. Not only neutral molecules but cations and anions may act as acids and or bases. Both Arrhenius and Bronsted-Lowry concept require an acid to be a source of proton. Thus, all Arrhenius acids are Bronsted-Lowry acids. According to Arrhenius, a base is a substance which gives OH negative ions in solution. Whereas according to Bronsted-Lowry, a base is a substance which can accept a proton. Carbonate ion CO3 2 negative cannot give OH negative ions in aqueous solution. It therefore cannot be an Arrhenius base. Thus, all Bronsted-Lowry bases are not Arrhenius bases. Limitation of Bronsted concept. Although Bronsted concept could explain the shortcomings of Arrhenius concept, yet it would not answer some of the well-established reactions. For example, it cannot explain the reaction between acidic oxides like CO2, SO2 and SO3 with the basic oxides like CaO, BaO and MgO, which takes place even in the absence of water. Clearly, in the reaction between CaO and SO3, there is no proton transfer involved in the reaction. The acidic nature of compounds like BF3, FeCl3 and AlCl3. Lewis concept of acids and bases. G.N. Lewis in 1923 proposed a more general definition of acids and bases, which is based upon the donation and acceptance of electron pair. According to Lewis concept, an acid is a substance which can accept a pair of electrons. A acid is a substance which can donate a pair of electrons. A base is a substance which can donate a pair of electrons. In other words, an acid is an electron pair acceptor. It means that a substance which has vacant orbitals to accommodate one or more pairs of electrons can act as a Lewis acid. On the other hand, a base is an electron pair donor. It means that any substance which with unshared pair of electron can behave as a Lewis base. Thus, the acid-base or neutralization reaction involves the formation of a coordinate bond between the electron pair donor and the electron pair acceptor. For example, the reaction between boron trifluoride BF3 and ammonia NH3 is a typical Lewis acid-base reaction. Let us now discuss in detail Lewis acids. According to this concept, Lewis acids are classified as molecules having central atom with incomplete octet of electrons. Boron trichloride, boron trifluoride, aluminium trichloride, etc. are acids of this type. It is clear that the central boron and aluminium atom have only 6 electrons. Simple cations. All the cations are short of electrons and can behave as Lewis acids. Large size cations like Na positive, K positive, Ca2 positive and Ba2 positive etc. behave as weak Lewis acids. This is because these have little tendency to accept electrons. On the other hand, small size cations such as H positive, Ag positive, Li positive ions have a strong tendency to accept the pair of electrons and are strong Lewis acids. In addition, highly charged cations have a higher tendency to accept electron pairs relatively to lower charged cations of the given metal. For example, Sn4 positive is a stronger Lewis acid than Sn2 positive. Some of the typical examples of Lewis acid-base reactions are given below. Molecules in which a central atom has available d orbitals and may acquire more than 8 electrons. Compounds such as AlCl3, SiF4, SnCl4, SbF5 and SO3 are Lewis acids where the central metal atom can expand its valence shell. Molecules with a multiple bond between atoms of dissimilar electronegativities. Carbon dioxide represents an interesting example of a double bond between carbon and the more electronegative oxygen atom. Oxygen, being more electronegative, has a tendency to attract the shared pair of electron more towards it in CO2. As a result, it acquires positive charge on the carbon atom and becomes electron deficient Lewis acid and attaches with the oxygen of the hydroxide ion Lewis base. Similarly, sulfur trioxide acts as a Lewis acid towards water. Lewis bases. According to this concept, Lewis bases may be classified as one of the following types of substances. Negatively charged anionic species. All the negatively charged species are Lewis bases because they are rich of electrons and have a strong tendency to donate electron pairs. The greater the charge density of the anion, the stronger is the base. Neutral molecules with one or more than one unshared pair of electrons. Molecules with unshared pair of electrons act as Lewis bases. For example, ammonia, water, R2O and R2CO acts as electron donors. Alkenes and alkynes with multiple bonds also form coordinate bonds with metal ions in organometallic compounds. Acid-base reactions according to Lewis concept. Some of the typical acid-base reactions involving the formation of a coordinate bond between a Lewis acid and a Lewis base are summarized below. It is important to note that an empty orbital is being created on the sulfur atom by moving a pair of electrons from the double bond on the oxygen atom. Combination of cupric ion Cu2 positive with ammonia. Combination of stannic chloride with ethers to give an adduct. Lewis acid-base concept discussed above is widely used because of its simplicity in understanding many acid-base reactions. In spite of its wider applications than Arrhenius and Bronsted concept, it has several disadvantages which are discussed below. Lewis concept is too general and considers all reactions forming a coordinate bond to the acid-base reactions. This is, however, not true always. Always true according to Lewis concept. Some of the transition metals that form compounds with carbon monoxide such as nickel, NiCO whole 4, FeCO whole 5, etc. are acid-base reactions, which is not correct. Formation of a coordinate bond between an acid and a base is the basis of Lewis concept. However, the well-known acids like HCl, HNO3, H2SO4 do not form any coordinate bond with the bases such as NaOH or KOH. Accordingly, HCl, HNO3 and H2SO4 should not be regarded as acids according to Lewis concept. Lewis concept does not give any uniform scale of acid and base strength. Lux-Flood concept of acid and base. A new concept of acid and base was proposed by Lux in 1939. This concept was further extended by Flood 1947. According to Lux-Flood concept, an acid is any substance which accepts an oxide ion, whereas a base is any substance which gives up oxide ion. According to Lux-Flood concept, substances that show a tendency to lose as well as gain an oxide ion are termed as amphoteric. Zinc oxide represents an interesting example of amphoteric character. For example, zinc oxide can lose O2 negative to form Zn2 positive ion, in addition to zinc oxide gaining an O2 negative to form ZnO2 2 negative zincate ion. Similarly, Al2O3 can behave both as an acid as well as a base in Lux-Flood sense and hence act as amphoteric. This concept of Lux-Flood is very useful at high temperature, especially in glass, ceramic industry and metallurgical operations. The concept of Lux-Flood can also be extended to halides and sulfides in place of oxygen. Solvent system concept. The solvent system concept of acids and bases was postulated by Cady-Astley in 1928. It is an extension to the Lowry-Bronsted concept and is applicable to both protonic and as well as non-protonic solvents. According to this concept, an acid is a substance which either by direct dissociation or by the interaction with the solvent gives a cationic characteristic of the solvent. A base is a substance which either by direct dissociation or by the interaction with the solvent gives the anionic characteristic of the solvent. The characteristic cations and anions of the solvent are the ions produced during the autoionization. The prefix auto means itself. To illustrate this concept, let us consider the autoionization of some protonic and non-protonic solvents. For example, HCl behaves as an acid in water solvent as it gives the cationic characteristic H3O positive of water. Similarly, NH3 acts as a base in water as it gives the anionic characteristic OH negative of water. It is important to note that acetic acid behaves as an acid in water as it produces the cationic characteristic of water. Acetic acid behaves as a base in sulfuric acid as it produces the anionic characteristic HSO4 negative of the solvent sulfuric acid. Urea dissolves very readily in water and gives neutral solution. However, urea dissolves in liquid ammonia and behaves as an acid because it gives the cationic characteristic NH4 positive of the solvent ammonia. Similar to Arrhenius concept, neutralization reaction may be represented as the combination of cationic characteristic of the solvent with the anionic characteristic of the solvent to form the solvent molecule in non-aqueous medium. Some of the neutralization reactions in various solvents are given below. It is important to note that neutralization according to solvent system concept is the reverse of autoionization reaction. Types of solvents. Solvents are classified in a number of ways on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. Broadly, there are three ways in which solvents can be classified: protonic and aprotic solvents. Solvents which contain hydrogen and can lose hydrogen in the form of proton, that is H positive ion, are called protonic solvents. Common examples of protonic solvents are water, ammonia, H2S, HF, etc. Solvents from which hydrogen cannot be obtained in the form of proton are called aprotic solvents. Common examples are CH3CN, C6H6, etc. Solvents like N2O4, SO2 and CCl4 are also called aprotic solvents. Acidic, basic and amphiprotic solvents. Solvents which have a strong tendency to give protons are called acidic solvents. Common acidic solvents are H2SO4, HF, CH3, COOH, etc. Solvents which have a strong affinity for protons are called basic solvents. Basic solvents are ammonia, hydrazine, pyridine, etc. Solvents which display both acidic and basic properties are called amphiprotic solvents. Examples of amphiprotic solvents are water, methyl alcohol, etc. Ionizing and non-ionizing solvents. Solvents which undergo self or autoionization are called ionizing solvents. Typical examples of ionizing solvents are water, ammonia, hydrogen fluoride, sulfur dioxide, etc. Solvents which do not ionize are called non-ionizing solvents. Typical examples of non-ionizing solvents are benzene, carbon tetrachloride, etc. Such solvents are non-polar and have low dielectric constant. Relative strength of acids. The strength of protonic acids can be compared easily by the tendency of the acids to give protons. Protonic acids like HCl, H2SO4, HNO3 ionize completely to give protons, whereas acids like CH3, COOH, HF and HCN ionize incompletely to give protons. The acids which ionize either completely or to a very large extent are named strong acids. On the other hand, acids which ionize to a smaller extent are named weak acids. Thus, protonic acids, namely HCl, H2SO4 and HNO3 are stronger acids, whereas CH3, COOH, HF and HCN are weak acids. It is the extent of ionization of an acid which measures the strength of the acid. Let us consider the ionization of an acid Ha, which is represented as Ha gives H plus A negative ions. The equilibrium constant Ka for the reaction is written as K is equals to concentration of H positive into concentration of A negative ions divided by concentration of Ha acid. Ka is known as the dissociation constant or ionization constant of the acid. The magnitude of Ka measures the relative strength of the acid. The stronger the acid, the larger is the value of Ka. It is convenient to use the term pKa analogous to pH to express the dissociation of an acid. A larger value of pKa means that the acid is little dissociated. It implies that the acid is weak. Thus, larger the value of pKa, the weaker is the acid. Dissociation constants of some of the common acids are given in the following table. whose inspection reveals that the strong acids have negative pKa values. Of all the acids given here, HBr is the strongest acid. Trends in acidic strength. We have learned that the relative strength of acids in aqueous solution can be easily expressed in terms of pKa value. The higher the pKa value of the acid, the weaker is the acid, and vice versa. The pKa values of some binary hydrides are given below. Let us evaluate how the acidity of the binary hydride depends upon the nature of the compound, its molecular structure, and its position in the periodic table. A comparison of the pKa values of binary hydrides reveals that on moving from left to right across a period, the strength of the binary acid increases. For example, the acid strength of the binary acids along the second period decreases as HF, H2O, then ammonia, and then methane. The observed trend can be easily explained on the basis of the electronegativity of the elements as one moves from left to right along a period: carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine. It is very important to note that size does not change greatly across a period. With the increase in the electronegativity of the central atom, the tendency to pull the electron pair from the hydrogen increases. This facilitates the release of hydrogen in the form of proton and makes the hydride more acidic in character. On similar considerations, we can explain how the acidic strength of binary hydrides of third period decreases as HCl, H2S, and PHC. A comparison of the pKa values of binary hydrides reveals that the relative strength of the acid increases as one moves down the group. As inspection of the pKa values reveals that hydrogen fluoride is a weaker acid than hydrogen iodide. The relative strength of the halogen group 7A decreases as HF, HCl, HBr, and then HI. Similarly, in group 6A, the strength of the acid increases as one moves down the group. Water is a weaker acid than hydrogen telluride. The actual order of the acidic strength down the group in the periodic table cannot be explained solely on the basis of electronegativity considerations. For example, in group 7, fluorine, being the most electronegative element, should pull the electron pair towards itself in HF. As a result, the release of hydrogen in the form of protons should be highly facilitated, making HF the strongest acid. In fact, HF is the weakest acid. The anomaly can be explained if we take into consideration the size of the central atom. As one moves down the group, the electronegativity decreases, but the size of the atom increases as shown below. The effect of increase in size of the atom is more than the decrease in the electronegativity value of the central atom. A proton can be more easily removed from a binary hydride in which the central atom is bigger in size as compared to an atom which has smaller size. Thus, Hi can release the proton more easily than HF. As a result, Hi is the strongest acid, whereas HF is the weakest acid among the halogen acids. The acid strength of the hydroacids can be easily explained with the help of the Born-Fezen-Haber cycle, which takes into consideration all the factors that determine the strengths of the acids in water. The acidic strength of an acid, Hx, where X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine, can be represented by the equation Hx in aqueous solution gives H positive plus X negative ions. The overall reaction can be thought to occur in various steps which are outlined below in detail. Step 1. Hx aqueous is dehydrated to give Hx gaseous form. The energy absorbed in this step is called dehydration energy, delta H. Step 2. Hx gaseous is dissociated into the constituent gaseous atoms, namely hydrogen and halogen X. The energy absorbed in this step is called the dissociation energy, D. Step 3. Ionization of the hydrogen atoms occurs to give H positive gaseous ions. The energy absorbed in this step is called ionization energy, IE. Step 4. The gaseous halogen atoms are converted into gaseous halide ions, X negative gaseous. The energy released in this step is called electron affinity, EA. The gaseous hydrogen ions H positive gaseous are hydrated to give H plus aqueous ions. The energy released in this step is called hydrational energy of the hydrogen ions, delta H positive hydration. The step 6. The gaseous halogen ions X negative gaseous are hydrated to give X negative aqueous ions. The energy released in this step is called hydrational energy of halogen ions, delta X negative hydration. The strength of the acid or the heat of ionization, delta H ionization, is given by the summation of all the energy steps involved and may be given by the expression delta H ionization is equal to delta H dehydration plus T plus IE plus EA plus delta H positive hydration plus delta H negative hydration. In this expression, EA and delta H plus hydration and delta H negative hydration are negative because energy is released in these steps. The energy values in kilojoule per mole of different steps for various halogen acids are listed below. On the basis of energy released during the overall process, the strength of the acid can be arranged in the order HI, HBr, then HCl and HL. Strength of organic acids. Organic acids possess either a carboxylic acid or a phenol group in their formula. These acids are capable of ionizing and hence releasing hydrogen ion H plus in solution. The acidic strength of these compounds is influenced by two factors, namely inductive effect and resonance. Let us discuss how these two factors influence the strength of the carboxylic acid. Inductive effect. The acidic character of the carboxylic acid is due to the cleavage of OH bond in the COOH group. As a result of cleavage, the hydrogen ion is released as substitution of electron withdrawing groups increases the acidic strength of the aliphatic acids. This can be easily explained in case of XCH2COOH, where X is an electron withdrawing group. The introduction of an electron withdrawing group X gives a positive charge, partial positive, to the carbon atom to which it is attached. This positive carbon in turn influences the electron distribution in the adjoining CO and COH bonds by withdrawing electrons due to the positive charge. As a result, the OH bond becomes weak and ionization of the proton becomes easier than in the absence of this effect. Thus, the presence of fluorine in fluoroacetic acid makes it a far stronger acid than acetic acid as shown below. Groups that increase the positive charge on the adjacent carbon atoms are called electron withdrawing and have plus I effect, while those increasing the negative charge density have minus I effect. Since the inductive effect increases with the increase in the number of substituents, it means that the strength of the acid should increase with the number of electron withdrawing substituents. Thus, trifluoroacetic acid is more stronger than difluoroacetic acid, which in turn is more stronger than fluoroacetic acid. Electron releasing groups like CH3 groups with plus I effect increases the electron density on the adjacent carbon atom as well as the carbon and hydrogen of COH group. This discourages the cleavage of OH bond and lowers the strength of carboxylic acid. The successive replacement by methyl groups in acetic acid progressively decreases the strength of the substituted acids. As a result, trimethyl acetic acid is weaker than dimethyl acetic acid, which in turn is weaker than monomethyl acetic acid and acetic acid. The pKa values of some carboxylic acids are listed in the table below to compare the relative acidities of corresponding acids. We have already learned that smaller the pKa value, the stronger is the acid. Trichloroacetic acid with pKa value of 0.65 is the strongest of all the listed values of acids in the above table. Resonance effect. Resonance effect plays an important role in determining the polarity of the OH bond and hence influences the acid strength of carboxylic acid. The resonance effects differentiates clearly between the aliphatic and aromatic carboxylic acid. For example, benzoic acid is a stronger acid than its saturated analog cyclohexane carboxylic acid. It is because the phenyl group is exerting an electron withdrawing effect, whereas the alkyl group is exerting electron donating effect, as is evident from the experimentally determined pKa values. The effect of substituting alkyl group in the benzene ring has very little effect on the strength of benzoic acid. However, substitution of electron withdrawing groups in the benzene ring increases the acidity of benzoic acid by resonance effect. The resonance effect of nitro group is more dominant in the ortho and para position but not in the meta position. Some of the pKa values of aromatic acids are given below. Of the 4 benzoic acids given below, orthonitrobenzoic acid is the strongest acid. It is because the ortho group is nearest possible from the carboxylic acid group and exert both the inductive and resonance effect effectively. Thank you for watching the video.